All right, what's up? We're back. And yeah, we ran a little over right there. But this guy right here, this unknown dude, apparently, he can edit that up. So we're going to break that last huge ass chunk into two parts. So yeah, you're a lifesaver. Thanks again.
To the dungeon.
I'm making a trip to the dungeon. You made a trip to the lair, I'll go to the dungeon with you. So, no, we're back. Back to Halloween. We're talking about Halloween. And do you remember where we was at? We left off on Halloween.
I do not remember, and I apologize.
No, not at all. We had a little technical difficulties.
I believe.
We hit 6. We was talking about 6.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about. I thought we were talking about the music, maybe.
Part of the music. Well, once again, let me just go ahead. I'll just backtrack a little bit if I have to. Just go about how great this movie is. Once again, I mean, this movie is it's tops. It really is. Even with, and don't get me wrong, it does have its flaws. Like, you watch it. And I mean, I've seen it so many times, like, I don't have to go to IMDb and look up the problems. Like, in the many times I've seen this movie at least 100, if not more. There's little things, the obvious one is it's October, it's fall time. And yes, there are leaves on the ground, but every tree is lush, green, perfect. And you can tell it's summertime over in California because there's palm trees too in the background.
Yeah, palm trees in Illinois.
Yes, palm trees in Illinois. So I mean, stuff like that. The big one for me, and I just discovered this.
Just something else. The leaves
were
all brought in.
Yeah, they actually brought them in.
Every time a scene was shot, had to be gathered back up.
The cast and crew got together, scooped them all up, went to the next location, and dumped them back out. Yep. And I just love that aspect too. It's just like that, that kind of close knit kind of family way of filming. And I really like that. I mean, you wouldn't really get a whole lot of that today. Of course, today it'd just be like either CGI leaves or they'd be like, fuck it, we're a big budget movie. We'll just wait until October or whatever.
Yeah.
But of course, the other one, the biggest continuity thing. I just realized it. I've seen this movie so many times that it never dawned on me. And you'll probably be like, oh yeah, I knew that, a long time ago.
I don't know.
The very beginning. Now, once again, you should have already seen this, guys. Like, I'm going to bust out. I'm going to have to do some spoilers here. In the very beginning.
30, 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, my God, guys, here, this is a movie that people should have already seen. In the very beginning, it's supposed to be an unknown person when you're first watching. You don't know who it is, but somebody's watching this girl and her boyfriend. You find out it's Michael Myers, a young Michael Myers, a 6-year-old Michael Myers. But the camera is up here.
Oh, yeah?
Like, it's, he's reaching, the doorknob's down here. The sister's like, oh, Michael. She's looking up at him. When he walks out and his mom and dad come up there, they're looking right at him. Michael. And then when they pull the mask off, it's a 6-year-old boy. And I'm like, wouldn't that camera be down here?
Yeah,
like,
makes sense.
Once again, I have seen this movie so many times, and when I didn't start, I'm like, why is she looking up at this boy? And I was like, oh my God, there's another continuity. I never knew that. I just literally never picked up on that once, and yeah, it's crazy. But even with those, the point I'm trying to make though is that even with all its flaws, I mean, and it has some, it's still brilliant. Like, you can always look past those. I mean, it is just it's an ultimate movie. My number one horror movie of all time. And I mean, I'm not the one that feels this way. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are just like, this is the top one.
That's my number one movie.
Yeah.
Period of all time.
Oh, half and half. See, now the movie fam's gonna lose some credit here. He's a horror guy. There's 2 movies that top this one that are not horror movies at all.
That's all right. And if you can want to mention them, that's fine.
I can feel it now. Okay, we'll work our way up. Number 2, Fight Club. I love it. And if I could save a little grace here, that's kind of like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing.
Oh, yeah.
Ruined the, no spoiler there because you fuckers should have already seen Fight Club. And number 1, this is where I may lose all the credit right here. This would be the one that's going to put the final nail in my coffin. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Wow.
I love it. It's my favorite movie. Yeah.
So I come here to bring out the other side of the Phantom.
Yes, and that's what it is. Like, before I'm just like, it's all horror movies, and you're here now. It's like there's a softer side. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
But we're talking about all the technical aspects of Halloween, which a lot of people, and this is no bitch really. This ain't no like you're a poser or nothing like that. But a lot of people will overlook that and just watch the movie and.
Oh yeah.
But back when I was a young man, before I went terribly wrong, I was in school, and I took some television production classes in high school, and used Halloween and old Halloween VHS time and time again for examples of movie techniques.
Oh, really?
And, yes. And
not know this about you.
You know, always got good grades on that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's one thing too. I mean, you know, like you're saying, you showing examples of great technique. I think every young filmmaker who's, you know, going to jump into horror, if you have never seen Halloween, A, you should probably just shoot yourself right now. But B, after, you know, you've recovered from the gunshot wound, watch Halloween. I mean, that's really, I mean, that's how you make a low budget horror movie, you know, with no money, no special effects.
Yep.
And Christ's sake, it's not even a real mask. It's a William Shatner mask that they made up, you know, totally different. Come on, like that just that blows my mind. It really does. And of course, that goes to the genius of John Carpenter. I mean, the guy just, you know, he's brilliant. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So, but yeah, that's it. Now, real quick, we'll shift gears here in a second, go right to Night of the Living Dead. But real quick, I kicked myself for not buying it. I was at a pawn shop. Yes, they still exist. I don't know why, because you think, you know, eBay and shit like that, you know, Craigslist killed them. But whatever. I'm at a pawn shop, and they had a copy of Halloween. It was like the extended TV version. Have you seen this at all?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, dude, I see it there, but I open it up, I look, and dude, this thing is scratched beyond recognition. And I was like, I'm not buying this, even if it was like $4.99. I was like, no. But now I wish I would have, because now I'm like, cause I've only seen it once, and it was on TV, and I don't even think they even had like everything put back into it. They had, like, the only thing I remember distinctly is Loomis is talking to the young boy, or he's going to talk to a young boy. It's young Michael just staring
in a white room.
Yeah, and that was it. But I don't know. Was there a lot of differences? I mean, was there anything significant? Like,
I'm trying to remember here, and I think that there's another additional scene with Laurie on the phone.
Okay. Like at night when she's babysitting, or before she goes?
But yeah, during the day after school.
Okay, all right. When creepy Michael Myers is looking at her, you know.
Yeah, but
good scene, by the way. Dude, that's one thing about Michael Myers also. Like, and of course this is another generic comment, but dude, that mask is it's so faceless, and it what makes it scarier. I mean, because it is like this glaring white mask that you see from across the street or in your backyard or whatever, and I just love it because I mean it's scary. Like it's unflinching, unmoving, and I think what that has over Jason, because I don't know, Jason doesn't really do the stalking, lurking thing as much. Like he's already like up on you, so you turn around, boom, he's there. Whereas I mean Michael more like he is. I mean at least they show it. I'm not saying Jason doesn't.
Yeah,
Jason always gets to stalk a little bit, but you know in the Halloween was actually showing you know from far away watching. And then one of my favorite scenes is when Annie's on the phone, and of course she's you know in there making popcorn or whatever, and you see Michael in the back, and it's a quick glimpse. Like she walks over here, you just see like that mask. She comes back, gone, and it's so brilliant. I just love that because it's one of those things where, and once again Hitchcock always said this, like you know, there's a difference between you know a shock and suspense.
Yep.
You know, a shock. You know, if there's a family sitting there at a table and they're eating dinner or whatever. An explosion happens, boom, shock. That's where the shock's at. Suspense is when the camera will pan down and you see a bomb underneath that table and it pans back up and you're like, oh no, and you're waiting for that explosion. That's suspense.
Yes.
And I think that is one thing that Halloween does have over a lot of slashers. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of slasher movies. Even ones that have no story, no plot, no good directing, no good acting, just fucking slice and dice them. But what it has over there is it does have that suspense. It does have, you know, a lot of things like, you know, that scene where they're walking across the street. Or, you know, she's going to take a little girl, what's her name? Tommy and Lindsay. Taking Lindsay across the street, and he just pops up the bag. Now, don't get me wrong, it's also that little sound effect that goes with it that gives you that jolt, but it's like he doesn't do anything. But you know he's there, and he doesn't follow her, because you know when she comes back by herself, it's going to happen right there. You don't know when, but you know it's going to happen. And that's what to me is just, it makes it great. It really does.
And that was my biggest complaint about the Rob Zombie remake. Is it
no suspense, really?
It was, going back to the Jason thing, it was all, I mean, it was, Michael Myers became Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, it really was.
Just this brutal, giant, you know,
killing machine.
Brutal killing, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, I did like, and I'm not going to go on a big tear on Rob Zombie, because I can. Like, you know, we definitely both could probably fill up the next segment. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, I do like the fact that, you know, he did give a backstory. Because that's the thing. Everybody's like, we didn't have backstory. First one didn't have a backstory. Well, yeah, but at this point, we all know that Michael is her brother. I mean, at this point, if you didn't know, you're a jackass. So, yeah, he just went ahead and let that backstory. But you're right, there was really no big suspense, and that, to me, is probably my biggest complaint. I mean, I'm the same way. I didn't get anything. That was probably one of the things that just kind of... But, it is what it is, and, maybe later down the road, we'll do a review of Rob Zombie and other Halloween movies, and, we'll touch on all that later on, so we got... Oh, excuse me. And see, I'll keep that shit in there too. I'll burp like a motherfucker and just leave it in there. All right, well, now we're moving on to the classic Night of the Living Dead. And of course,
let's go back 10 years.
We'll go back 10 years, 1968. And the basic, premise here is, just in a nutshell, because that's why I do it, the nutshell version of it, is, basically a group of people hole up in a farmhouse. And we won't necessarily say zombies right off the bat. And they are zombies, but they never really refer to them as zombies. They are, in fact, the living dead. Rise up and start killing people. They start biting people and attacking. So, what took the lead last time? Well, you go ahead and take the lead. What are your thoughts on Night of the Living Dead?
Man, I mean, kind of going back to what we talked about with Halloween. I mean, just a wonderful example of low-budget
filmmaking.
And
actually, lower budget than Halloween. I mean, this was literally micro budget, shoestring budget, whatever you want to call it. No budget. I mean, it was just fucking. They grabbed the camera. They went for it, and I totally agree.
And at that time, a pretty new original idea.
Oh yeah. I mean, in fact, and this ain't even like a. Going all in. No, that he started the subgenre of zombies. I mean,
they had zombies.
You had voodoo zombies.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a difference. You had voodoo zombies. This is the first time you had these cannibalistic, diseased.
I mean, nowadays
they weren't dead.
Slow, rotted, walking zombies are referred to as Romero zombies.
Oh yeah.
And that's.
And to me, those are the true zombies. Like, I don't get me wrong, I like the remake of Dawn of the Dead. And even like these infected movies, like 28 Days Later, I mentioned earlier, Quarantine, they all run. But don't get me wrong, I didn't like Quarantine, but I like the other one. I like the running, whatever. But to me, they're not really zombies. I mean, to me, these are zombies right here. And the funny thing is, I watched this when I was a kid. First movie I ever watched that was black and white. That I was like, you know what? Black and white movies can be pretty good, I guess. Yeah. Because at that point, I guess I am like most kids. I always try, especially with my, nieces and nephews, I tried to expand them. Like, you guys, there are movies that, came out before 2000, all right? You got to, expand a little bit. And this is a movie that someone had a VHS of it, and I borrowed it. And, of course, the cover was all colored, It was just, like I have a poster over there. It's kind of like that right there, just a colorized version of the poster. Of the VHS cover, so I pop it in, it's black and white, and I was like, and I had that initial instinct, let's just turn it off, but I stuck with it, and it was brilliant, and I have been in love with that movie ever since, and I honestly, even though Halloween's my favorite, I think I've seen Night of the Living Dead way more.
Really?
I mean, literally, I watch it like 3 times a year, and it's just one of those movies that's just easy to throw in, like if you gotta do something around the house, fuck it, throw some Night of the Living Dead in.
Yep.
I will listen to it. I mean, I know that movie by heart. It's brilliant.
I like it that, for the most part, they jump right into it.
They really do. They really do. But even then, like, they jump into it.
Johnny and Barbara's go into the cemetery.
Yep. And, put some flowers on Grandpa's funeral or on his grave. But even with just jumping right into it, you still have excellent character development. I mean, it still fleshes out the characters. You get to know their personality. And it's not that long a movie. Like, they still did it in that small time. And it really is, just great. We're going to take a quick break real quick.
Okay.
We caught this time. So, yeah. I just want 1 week where no technical difficulties. Whether it's, last week has post-production problems. This week, the goddamn alarm didn't go off. But we're going to fix it. My buddy here, in his dungeon, we're going to get it fixed. So, all right, we'll be right back. So...